Yo, my name is Julien Melnick and welcome back to the Console Gaming Channel. That's right, we're button mashers, thumbstick thrashers, and here to have a good time playing video games. Guys, I have a question for you. Well, actually, it's just a question in general, and that is, which controller is best? Now, I'm not talking about brands and stuff like that. That's another video for another time. It's first party, like the Nintendo Switch Pro controller, third party, like my personal favorite, the 8-bit Do Pro 2 controller, or third party but licensed third party by Nintendo, like this, the powera Nano. This one's actually pretty dope. Which one's actually going to function the best? Ergonomics and size aside, which one is right? I think we gotta check them out. So dudes, we need to talk about it. We need to figure out which one is best. But first, who are our competitors? We have ourselves the gold standard, the first party king, the, well, honestly, best Nintendo controller I've ever used. This is the Nintendo Switch Pro controller, launched with the Nintendo Switch when it came out. This is designed for the Nintendo Switch. Can be used as a Bluetooth controller, but originally it is designed for the Nintendo Switch, and this comes in at a whopping $70, just this standard one. There are different versions of this, but when it comes to first-party controllers for the Nintendo Switch specifically, aside from reimagined and remade retro controllers by Nintendo, which are impossible to find, this is all you get. And that is why people buy third party. And it's because they want options, or they just want to spend less money, like $20 less for something like this, the 8-bit Do Pro 2. This is my favorite controller of all time. This is #1 for me. And when it comes to its features, this doesn't have amiibo support, though it does support the HD Rumble in a way. Like, it feels really, really good. I don't think it's the exact HD Rumble, which is their fancy term for haptic feedback, but the vibrations in this are really nice and precise. This also has back buttons, which are becoming more and more popular, as well as a turbo button if you're into that kind of thing, and multiple ways you can program this using 8-bit Do's app on your phone, and you can save those to different profiles on here. And this is the part that's kind of cool, is if you do use this with multiple different devices, there's a switch on the back that allows you to specifically target that device and the connection it needs via Bluetooth. And lastly, this is battery powered or rechargeable battery power, which 8-bit Do does provide you with. 8-bit Do, 8-bit Do, whatever you want to do. And last, for $40, you can get a licensed by Nintendo third-party product. This is a third-party product made by a third-party company. Third party being not Nintendo, but having a partnership or a deal with Nintendo, they can do stuff like throw the Nintendo Switch logo on the controller itself and have this be a certified product, meaning Nintendo stands behind it to some extent. This is the powera Nano. Now, the reason why this is in the mix, it is smaller, it's not a full-size controller, but what I like about it is the buttons are full-size. So you feel like you're actually using a full-size controller, it's comfortable in the hands, and it's great. My only complaint is it's not symmetrical, but I would go as far to say that symmetrical thumbsticks in this form factor actually might be uncomfortable, so let it get away with it as a pass. This also does have programmable back buttons that are manual, so you can do that by just selecting the program button and programming it on the fly. While this doesn't have as many customizations as the 8-bit Do does, this you can do a lot faster because you don't need the app open right next to you, which does require you to connect to it for a brief moment. It's quick, but not as quick as just doing it on the fly. What this doesn't have though is amiibo support, and it also doesn't have vibration, which for some people they don't really care, but when it comes to Nintendo games, they really take pride in their haptic feedback, HD Rumble, however they want to call it. So you are sacrificing some of those vibration motors just because this thing doesn't fit them inside. Okay, so we're here and we're gonna do the test. We're gonna do the latency test. How does it feel? I know this game very, very well. I love all these levels. I play this game a lot. And so we're gonna run just the Nintendo Switch Pro controller on the first level here in Super Mario World, and then there's a couple other games we're gonna test too. Now when it comes to how we're doing this, yes, I'm using my TV because this is the most likely setup that most people are gonna have. Most people aren't gonna be gaming on gaming monitors or portable monitors or something like that, so I wanna give you guys the most accurate representation what the casual gamer is gonna be able to do. So let's get into it and hope to God that it stays focused on the TV. So let's go ahead and focus up there. It should. And here we go. Now I have a hand cam set up, and I'm not sure how good that's gonna go, so. We all know these levels. Gosh, this game was incredible back in the day. I love this game. Give myself a little Yoshi action. Here we go. And see, that's a lot of this game is the back and forth of the side to side, and that's really important when it comes to accuracy. Especially if you're running, I don't speed run this game, I just know the levels pretty well. Oh, there we go. So we already lost that guy, it's fine. That's just because of a miscalculation on my part. Great, awesome, awesome. Get that life, good. Let's get some of these guys right here, it's gonna be nice. Good, I'll skip that vine just for the lack of time. Don't wanna waste your guys' time. Skip all those too. Get the jump there, got him. Good, we're up, we're here. I love doing that. All right, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Let's do it again, but let's go to the non-licensed controller. Let's go to the 8BitDo Pro 2. And we're gonna play the same level again, but now we're doing it with the 8BitDo Pro 2, my favorite controller of all time, and we're gonna test it live here. Is this actually, do we have any latency and timing? All right, so far, I feel a little different on, oh, okay, oh, wow, oh my goodness gracious. Okay, so that's the D-pad. I'm running D-pad. I'm missing my jumps. That's not good. Okay, we're gonna go here. Oh wow, this is actually, I love this controller, but the accuracy is not good. And now see what's happening is I'm anticipating it. I missed that jump. See the turn, it's not as quick as, okay. Wow, this is sloppy. Pop. Okay, I'm not going for that. We're gonna keep moving. Okay, so I've gotten used to it now. That's the thing that I think that, oh, I missed that jump. I missed, good grief. I am missing all my jumps. Can I hit my, all right. Well, 8BitDo Pro 2 has a little bit of latency. It's acceptable, and by acceptable, I mean you can figure out how to do it. Man, that's unfortunate. Time to switch to the other one. All right, now that we switched out of the 8BitDo, we have the powera Nano. Let's hit the level up. Hopefully it locks into the screen. And lock, good to go. All right, so far the only mistake, or the only thing I don't like, is I don't like the mushiness of the D-pad. That doesn't feel good. Okay, let's hope for the best here. Okay, we got ourselves our Yoshi. We're gonna keep going, catch all of our jumps. Missed it, it's fine, we just caught him. 1, 2, let's get him. Let's get rid of this guy, bye-bye. All right, that was easy enough. Okay, so, oh man, so I don't know if that's gonna happen with every single third-party only controller. Again, this is not first party, this is a third-party controller. This is third-party, but licensed. All right, caught that, caught that. Not catching this, but that's fine. That's interesting. That's interesting. This guy, it feels good to play with. The throw of the thumbstick is a little far for the size, but it's interesting. All right, time to do the next game. There's only 2 games we're gonna test here. This and Mario Kart, because Mario Kart, there's the precision, and I've memorized most of those courses. Back to the original controller, which is the Nintendo Switch Pro Controller. So we have ourselves Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, a hot topic right now, given all of the different courses we're gonna be getting. Again, I know this back and forth. This is one of my favorite games. In fact, it's top 3 for sure. We're just go single player, super basic here, 150 cc's. Go my normal car. Everything is gonna be what I'm used to, and we'll do the first right here. We're gonna do the first race. We're gonna do 1 lap per controller. And every time we're about to cross, we'll pause, we'll switch our controllers, and we'll go to see how this feels. And that way, it's not gonna take too long, and we're gonna be able to showcase the timing really quick next to each other. And again, I have my hand cam set up. You guys can see my Reebok pumps. Oh yeah, baby. Here we go. To catch that. That doesn't, oh man, it feels good. So this game, again, is one that, you just know your layouts and you know what you're supposed to do. Okay, I almost got that. And you know like where you're supposed to be, and you've memorized pretty much, oh, well, didn't memorize that. You've memorized your placement. And the reason why I chose these games is, again, they're not the most, I guess, technically timing-based games, but we all have the different ways that we've memorized these different courses. So I think it's nice and good to play it that way. Oh, okay, all right. Let's go ahead and switch over to the 8-bit Do. Let's go ahead and switch over to the 8-bit Do Pro 2 controller. So we're switched over, and well, let's get after it. All right. Okay, so I will say that the thumbsticks, okay, it feels really mushy. And I'm trying to do my best to actually get back to the most important thing, which is how does it feel when it comes to playing the level? Wow, it feels like I'm really having to pull hard to get these turns in, and it's not the sensitivity. I think it is primarily the fact that I wanted to pull back on that one and it didn't register it, and it was a quick push and pull. Man, that's disappointing. That's disappointing because I absolutely love this controller so much. But to see it that close side by side, and now again, it's not a super long test, but what's happening here is I'm feeling an exact side by side comparison. There is latency and it is noticeable, but you end up compensating as you play longer, but that's still, it's there. So let's go ahead and do our final switch, pun intended, over to our Nano. And well, based on the way that this has been going, I have high hopes for this guy. So let's go ahead and try this last race with our Nano. Here we go. Good. Should be connected on that. Yeah, good. Okay. Let's go ahead and switch. Oh, man. Well, let it be told, this feels exactly like the inputs are happening the second I put in my, yeah, it's exact. Now, the 8-bit Do Pro 2 controller is an incredible controller. Honestly, it's really good, and it's really well built. But what I'm noticing is that with Nintendo products, unless it's a third-party certified by Nintendo kind of situation, it ends up being not the best option, and that bums me out. Dang, man, I really wanted the 8-bit Do Pro 2 to win. I really did. And the reason for that primarily is because I love that controller, and it's because it feels the best, and I honestly think that it's built the best. Out of the three, it for sure is the better built one. Now, my last thoughts before we conclude here is that this controller here is the most expensive, but honestly, when it comes to first party, you're always gonna get the best experience. And I think that everyone should probably own this controller. When it comes to the 8BitDo Pro 2, just know what you're getting. You're getting an incredible controller. The build quality is great, but there is gonna be that issue when it comes to latency, especially when you're on a TV. I don't notice it as much when I'm on my monitor, and that's the primary place I play this, but also this is gonna be a great solution for those of you who wanna play games, you know, emulate or use this as a Bluetooth controller through and through. It just does have that latency. But you end up getting used to it, which I think is something that you also need to consider, is you get used to the way that stuff interacts, and that precision is just there with every controller that you get used to. There's always gonna be an element of latency introduced, and you need to figure out which one is gonna be the one you're used to. But when you do a side-by-side comparison, there is definitely a noticeable difference. And the last controller here, this guy is the unsung hero. I'm actually really impressed with how this performed up against its bigger brother, the Nintendo Switch Pro controller. This is a mini version. Like, honestly, it is mini. But what we have here is an incredible product, and I'm not mad that I picked this guy up. Is it my primary controller I'm gonna go to? No, my primary controller is still the 8BitDo Pro 2. This is an interesting finding. Now, if you found value in this, please hit the like button. These take a lot of effort to make, and I really enjoy making them. We're seeing more and more Nintendo stuff because I love Nintendo, guys. Now, if you want to be a part of this channel and this community, it's really simple. Just hit the subscribe button, and that bell is gonna let you be notified every single time a new video or a new post comes out, which I post community polls daily because they're fun and a fun way for us all to interact. And lastly, if you want to see more about different controllers, let me know in the comments below which controllers you'd like to see me review. Do you want me to do a deep dive of this? Because there's so many more features that the 8BitDo Pro 2 has to offer, and I really want to dive deeper and deeper, but man, I'm kind of saddened by my findings today, I'm not gonna lie. This was my favorite controller, and I've never done a side-by-side, and this is really something interesting. All right, guys, that's it for my thoughts today, and well, I'll see you around. Happy gaming.